Yes, good afternoon to you. Let's quickly look at the USDJPY. The USDJPY is a pair we took last week where we were actually expecting their bearish momentum and we were able to take over 250 pips move after waiting for over 72 hours before the move finally came. We can see since the beginning of last week's trading session, price has consolidated around the supply zone area at around the 135.500 area, and we were actually expecting that bearish move for over 72 hours before that move finally came during the later part of last week's trading session, and price took us to about 132 Japanese yen area before we started seeing something that looks like a retracement move back into the upside. So now, as we're heading into the new week, this is going to be a follow-up video on my previous analysis on the USDJPY. So as we head into the new week, what is going to be our plan? Are we going to be seeing a further trend continuation to the downside, or is price going to be going to the upside from here? So the first thing we want to be doing is to scale up into the daily time frame so that we can have an holistic perspective of what is actually happening in this market. So I want to be going to the daily time frame, and obviously when we see what is happening on the daily time frame, it is very obvious that price action has been on a strong bullish momentum, and this is evident if we look at what has been happening since the beginning of the year. We can see our price has consistently respected the bullish trend line we were able to identify on the daily time frame. We can see our price has continued to respect that bullish trend line. But what happened during the later part of the month of July was a strong, significant bearish momentum that took price out of the bullish structure. Right now, are we going to be seeing price continue to the downside from here? Or is there a possible scenario where we could be seeing a bullish momentum where price will break out of this structure here? So now let's scale down to a much lower time frame, like the 4 hours time frame. And remember, before I go to the 4 hours time frame, remember that this is a strong bullish perspective on the USDJPY. Even though we have taken about 250 pips bearish momentum to the downside last week, we cannot really say that this bearish momentum will hold, because we need to also take into consideration the long-term bullish momentum. So there is a possibility that this move to the downside, as we can see, we saw the rejection of the 130.500 level here, and price came into the 135.500. Then we saw this bearish move during the course of last week's trading session to find a higher low, and that is why I was able to connect this point to have a bullish trend line. So is this line going to push price right above to have a retest of the bullish trend line we identified, which could probably send price crashing to the downside from there? So let's go down to the 4 hours time frame and let's see what is happening. So on the 4 hours time frame, the first thing I was able to do on the 4 hours time frame is to connect the series of lower highs since mid-July. So if we look at the structure since the middle of the month of July, we were able to identify these lower highs, and I was able to connect the series of lower highs so that we can have a structure to guide our action going forward. So with the connection of the lower highs, we were able to identify that bearish trend line on your screen, which you can see with the red line. So right now we are at this point. So let's zoom into the current structure we have here. So what do we have here? So we have this move. So since the last time price tested that bearish trend line, we had this impulsive move to the downside. Then price did a retracement back into this level. Then we saw something that looks like a reversal pattern here that pushed price back into the this bullish trend line I showed you on the higher time frame. So now going into the new, let me delete this. Going into the new week, what is going to be our plan? Well, the first thing I want to be doing here is this. I want to take into consideration this impulsive move that we took last week, that took price right into the 131.800 level. So what I want to be doing here is to use that impulse leg as a yardstick going into the new week. So what do I mean by that? Since we already have a bearish impulsive move, definitely I'm expecting price to do a retracement move, which has already begun. We saw as soon as price tested this level, we have seen multiple rejection of this area, and price appears to be going through a retracement phase right now. So we don't know when this retracement phase is going to finally end. But from a technical perspective, I'm expecting that the retracement phase is likely going to end within the golden zone area, which is around the 50 and the 78.6% of the previous impulse leg. Remember, this is the previous impulse leg. So what I want to be doing now is to bring out my Fibonacci retracement tool and running it through the previous impulse leg so that we can identify the area between the 50 and the 78.6% as an area we want to be looking forward to a selling window. So this is why I have this point here. So let's delete this. So what I'm looking forward to in the new week is this. I'm expecting that price is likely going to come back into the selling area, where I will be looking forward to a reversal pattern within this area to give me that signal of a trend continuation to the downside here. And if a breakdown of that bullish trend line happens, then a retest of structure should give me further confirmation to add more position to my existing trade. And if we look at the structure here, we can see that the selling window also shares a confluence with the bearish trend line we were able to identify on the 4 hours time frame, and also the key level that was serving us during the course of last week trading session, the key level at 135 Japanese yen. So what I want to be doing now, should this key level hold for this week? Well, I want to look at this 135, 134.500 area. Now, what I'll be doing here is this. If we look at what is happening here on the 4 hours time frame, we can see that we have a double top structure here. We have a double top structure before we saw the breakout of that structure. So it's likely that price will come back to do a retest of that neckline. So what I'll be doing here is to delete this key level here and readjust my key level to fit into the neckline of this double top structure. And if we look left, we can see that this level has been a major determinant of selling momentum in the past. We can see our price has rejected this level multiple times, and then we saw a rejection here as well before we saw the breakout of that structure here. So what I want to be doing is to identify this neckline and using this neckline as my key level going into the new week. So I'll bring out my line chart at this point and we're able to connect this point together. I think that falls around the 134.650 area, which will be serving as our key level going forward. So let's draw it out. So we have our key level at 134.650. Is that so? Okay, yes. 134.650 area, which will be serving as my key level going forward. So what does this key level does? The key level is just a point where we will be using as our yardstick to remain comfortable in whatever position we are taking on this one. So in this scenario here, I'm expecting a bearish momentum. So I'm expecting price to come back into this area. And you can see that the selling window also shares a confluence with that key level and also the bearish trend line we were able to identify on the 4 hours time frame. So I want to be looking forward to a sharp rejection of this level, or probably look forward to a reversal pattern right around the key level here and take advantage of a bearish momentum right below the 134.650 to be comfortable of taking that selling momentum. That is one scenario we want to be looking forward to. Then the other scenario is this. If at any point in time we see an outright breakout of that bearish trend line, then that is a signal that price is going bullish on this one. So I want to be taking a bullish perspective here on the USDJPY at the site of a breakout of structure. Remember, that is a signal. We don't want to get too excited as we want to wait for further confirmation in the form of a retest of structure. So if price breaks out and does a retest of the key level or probably the bearish trend line, then I want to be looking forward to a reversal pattern on lower time frame to join the rally to the upside. So this is what I'm going to be looking forward to. So I'll be pausing the video at this point, and what will be happening is this: we'll be waiting for the early hours of the new week, where we are going to be monitoring the activities of the participant in the market to see if we are actually going to be going bearish or we are going to be going bullish on this one. So be rest assured, I will be sharing an update during the early hours of the week in the comment section of this video. So if this video has in any way been of immense help in helping you make your own individual decision on the USDJPY, kindly support this project by clicking on the like button. You also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Dark Sherry so that you don't miss out on the regular updates I normally share in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching and liking this video. I do hope to see you Monday morning as usual. Good night and do have a wonderful day. Bye bye.